Hey, Steve Gamache here with a Western handled or Yo handled Honesuki stainless Honesuki comparison. Got all three of these in. I wish I had the Fujiwara FKM as well, or maybe one or two other ones, but since I've got all three of these in at the same time, I figure I'd compare them. And the reason I want to compare them is really, from a handling perspective, the biggest difference between these is the handles. So you can see we've got different styles of handles on these. So from the top, this is the Masamoto VG Honesuki. This is the Grand Chef, Takayuki Grand Chef. So this one is their VG stainless. This is the AEBL stainless. And then we have the Tojiro DP, which is VG10 laminated with soft stainless cladding. These two are mono steel. So they're similar in weights. They're fairly similar in thickness. The Tojiro might be the thickest and stiffest of the bunch. The Takayuki is not far behind, and really the Masamoto is stiff as well. So they're all fairly similar in stiffness. In terms of tips, the Takayuki has kind of the thinnest tip as far as the grind goes. It's a little bit thinner than the other one, so it's a little bit more precise tip. The handles, so let's start with the Takayuki. You can see the Grand Chef here does not have the curve at the bottom to kind of hold in the, I'm not going to call it a bird's beak, but the catch on the end of the handle to kind of lock your pinky in or your last finger in from sliding down. So it does not have that. It's kind of a bulbous rear end, and it's a little shorter. You can see if we just line them up here. I'm going to line up the bolsters, but you can see the definite links in the handles when we line them up. So the Takayuki is the shortest one, the Masamoto VG is the next longer, and then the longest one is the Tojiro DP. And again, I wish I had a Fujiwara here. The Fujiwara FKM, if it's anything like some of the other ones compared to the Tojiro DP, it's probably going to have a slightly slimmer handle, which is kind of typical of that line versus this line. So the Grand Chef is, again, not as long. It doesn't have that catch for your finger, so it just has a little bit different feel to it. It's plenty thick. It's got plenty of meat to it, but it's smaller. I shouldn't say smaller, it's shorter, so it's a little more stubby. Longer hands may not like that as much, as I mentioned in that video. The Masamoto VG is just kind of a good average size, but not especially long or wide. It's got enough width to it. It's not quite as meaty as the Takayuki. It's a little bit thinner than that. And then we have the Tojiro, which has slightly more meat to it, or just a touch larger handle, not much. But then it's a little bit longer. It's actually quite a bit longer. In fact, let's put them just nose to nose here. You can kind of see the difference. So I don't know if that shows you. It's a little bit longer. So this one gives you the most room if you're looking for that with whatever size hands you have. And if you want kind of the stubbiest but meatiest one, we're probably looking at the Takayuki Grand Chef between these. So there you have just three Yo or Western handled Honesuki knives. A little quick comparison there from the Chef Knives To Go site.